Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching The Witcher. This is episode 3 of season 2. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far. I've been really enjoying the fight scenes, to be honest. I do like it. Last episode we had obviously Geralt and one of his teachers that obviously taught him how to fight when he was growing up, having a fight with one of his brothers, shall we call them, who had been infected by a monster while he was out obviously on, I don't know, on a mission. Pretty much he come back, he was being sketchy, he didn't let anybody see his shoulder slash back, he was injured, but also he was doing is wanting to celebrate with everybody that he was back, that Geralt was there, and he had a few questions as well, like why's Ciri here, you know, like who is she and what's she doing here? Well, like I said, really interesting. He was infected by this, I don't know if it was a bite or a scratch, and he transitioned into a monster himself. Now, he was attacking them. He was extending, kind of like a tree. He had loads of branches. He was attacking. He had the swords out. You know, Geralt, he was saving the castle, obviously. He was chopping and twisting everywhere. They grabbed, like I said, his teacher, and he was strangling him, and he's ready to kill him. And he was waiting for so long before he was, you know, going to kill his brother. You know, he did wait. He gave the opportunity for him to release him before he went in and dug that sword right into his back and killed him. Like I said, you can't really blame him. He was trying to hold off for so long, but when it got to the point where it looked like obviously his master was going to die, he took him out. He had to. And like I said, it was a good fight. I really enjoyed the fight in the episode before when that woman that could turn into a bat was absolutely flying around, and she was hitting him with a sonic boom, and he blocked it and then palmed it back at her and knocked her away as well. That was good, and he was clever when he got his sword and stabbed her from behind when she was flying. Really do enjoy the fight scenes. And speaking about fighting, obviously at the end of the episode, he started to train Ciri up as well, because she was in the castle. She was locked up in, you know, in her room. Pretty much there was a few females there as well, and they all ran and hid, and they were saying that's what we do, you know, the men go and fight, we hide. Well, that's not what she wants to do. She wants to be in the action. She wants to get revenge on everybody that took down obviously her family, and she wants to learn how to be possibly a witcher herself. So it's really good. So at the end, Geralt was teaching her a couple of the moves. You know, he was stabbing, twisting, wafting the sword. I liked it. Hopefully we can see more of her this season and what she can give us. Now, it was an interesting for Yannette. Is it Mimi and somebody else, to be honest, somebody from the elves. They was captured by the elves. Obviously, the episode before, we seen loads of the crew get took out. Loads of spears come in and whipped everybody out, and it was just them two standing. Well, they was taken by the elves, took them back to the people. They was asking what should they do with them. She was like, look, mate, we'll kill them. One of the other guys was like, nah, you know, we should keep these. You know, we've been looking for ages. We've been here for time trying to find this woman in the white hood that you say you've been looking for, and we've not found her for weeks. Then Yannette was like, mate, I've been seeing a woman, and Mimi, she said as well, I have been seeing somebody. And what was interesting is they started to help transcribe and figure out what it was that they was seeing. This statue like moved. They went down underneath it. They seen a house in the woods with no door, and then it spun round. The light took them and put them inside it. All three of them were seeing a different person. I think it was the same entity, so to speak, but it portrayed itself differently to each one of them. And what was really interesting, it was telling them different things. So I think Yannette, like, I think you had to ask it like your desire or something. So like Yannette, she can't really do magic right now after casting that mad spell that took out everybody, that fire one. And Mimi, she as well, she was told that she had to pair up with the elves, and the elves was told that they need to pair up with the humans as well, which is again really fascinating. So obviously at the end of the episode, they was let free. Because like I said, they was teaming up. Them two went one way. Yannette, she decided to go another. She was trying to cast magic in the wood. She couldn't do it. She ended up kneeling down and absolutely screaming. And yeah, it's really interesting. So she currently doesn't have magic. The elves are going that way with the humans, and I can't wait to obviously see today's episode, see how much series progressed in a fighting. Hopefully she can take down a monster with Geralt, and we can have another high action, fast paced episode. So thanks so much everybody for watching. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you do, and as always, let's jump into episode 3 of season 2 of The Witcher. Straight away, look at it, training's going.
Do it.
You need rest. Anything else will have diminishing returns. Your stomach's growling loud enough to wake the dead.
Hunger makes for good sauce.
Also makes for shitty lunches.
Yeah, mate, she's seen visions.
Was it the Black Knight again? He's still haunting you.
Whose turn is it for lunch?
Would you call a witcher with no brains?
Lambert?
When you finish this, get some rest.
She's read that story.
Trouble with the pretty princess. Cost us a brother.
That wasn't our brother. And bitterness won't help us find what killed him.
Oh, I know what killed him.
Do you not think that's interesting? Right, do you not think that's an interesting observation? Like, he's blaming him and CIRI for his brother dying, but he's clearly infected and transformed into a monster himself, and he was attacking their own people. So it was, do you know what I mean? Yeah, obviously Geralt was the one that put the dagger into him at the end to kill him, but he was dead anyway, pretty much. He was consumed by the entity, the monster, and he was attacking your own people. So, I mean, I don't think you can blame him at all. Oh, check this.
Let's go.
I'm finished, mate.
We'll be finished when we're counting worms in the ground, not after an hour on the combs.
We come here to rest in the winter, and to restore, and to have some fun.
I haven't seen you this sore since Vesemir tanned our hides for tying that thread to the bumblebee's leg. We won't get any rest. None of us will have any peace until there are no monsters left in the world. One more hour.
Is this the other day?
Fine. One more hour.
I like that. It's pretty good.
Thank you, Wolf.
Don't thank me yet. It was Lambert's turn to cook.
We shouldn't have lost him this way. We got a lab full of alchemical compounds that can change day to fucking night. I'm not going to give up now.
But it's time to let us go rest.
See, he does deserve peace, but again, man, there's a possible threat and there could be more of them around.
A respected mage, and even he found no indication of their plan to attack.
I am not here to glorify my part in our victory in Sodom, nor to watch you perform feigned inquisitions to distract from your failure.
I was there to study monoliths. They hold the history of this continent.
If we want to keep our people safe, we'll be wise to recognize the enemies in our midst. If we don't control this now, it'll grow.
Alright, she found the way back. Alright, it's a different logo. There's a different symbol this than the last episode.
What was happening in there?
Artorius can feel his grasp on the leadership slipping, and Stregobor is...
A fuckhead.
You are a hero to me and many others, but we need to let Vilgefortz carry the mantle of victory for now.
Because you and Vilgefortz are making a play for their seats.
Just like you were at Sodden. You did what you had to do.
Do you think that she really cares for Yennefer? So far, what I've seen, she does. I hope that she just doesn't use her to try and attain power, even though, like, she was trying to make a play for the seats without Yennefer being around anyway. And she does seem like she gets real emotional. You know, first episode, she was screaming. Second episode, you know, she's still looking for her. And this one as well, you know, it did look like she was affected when she was putting a name on that thing that she was doing. So I do think she actually really does care for her.
They're coming to Zintria from everywhere, a place of refuge where elves can be safe. Well, I've never known a human to give out of the kindness of his heart.
Go. Eat meat. Be happy.
Some things are far too scary for little girls.
I'm not little and I'm not afraid.
It's easy to say.
He's just going to cut him up. Don't take her out into the field though, she might get harmed. They'd be fuming then, wouldn't they? Oh, look, they're going. She's just going to get up and give a go again. Not going to moan. She's going to carry on.
Still want to be a witcher?
Of course she does, mate. She's not going to go down like that. Do you know what I mean? She knows the fight that's up in front of her. She's not going to stop just because she's been knocked down by it. Do you know what, right? If you can survive stuff like that, then you are very skilled, you know. And it would teach you to duck, dip, dive and dodge, as they say on Dodgeball. So it would be good to see. Maybe you have to go through with the sword as well. So, you know, like, as you weave in, like, you do a jab and then you dodge the next one. Then you do another jab, and all like that. Because then it's multitasking, isn't it? It's dip and ducking and also swinging a punch. It's like boxing, you know. That's why they're so skilled, because not just do they move the head to avoid the punch, they also send their own punch, and they also move the feet at the same time, back and forward. And even just holding your hands up like this is really hard. So, I mean, to multitask, be able to dodge the incoming things whilst also throwing a few strikes here and there, it would definitely train you up. And especially when you go to the spinning turnstiles as well, you got to block them. Like, it's really good. This face looks sick as well, actually. It looks like a skull. Oh, that was a sick camera turn, that, actually.
None of this makes sense. Death by mutating Lash. Find that in our annals.
I didn't see it coming.
Maybe another conjunction will come along and change it all again. You'll be going crazy to figure it out. What you missed, what you could have done differently.
Burden I now share.
Look at that, mate. He's giving him to the wolves.
We heard you were back.
How divine.
Indeed, darling. Indeed.
Hugs all around or what? Yeah, she still can't do her magic, can she?
There. Come on, you two.
Come on, Tris. Not today.
Wonder why?
Our hungry mother began cried death to all kings. She slaughtered nobility, even civilians with her bare hands. Together they burnt cities to the ground and...
That's not true.
Falco was quarter elven, just as Yennefer is.
So what are you saying? Yennefer's related to Falca?
But history does have a way of repeating itself. Falca destroyed Mirth, and all the mages have always tried to protect our institutions. We allow our power to be diluted by elven blood, then it will be led to ruin. No. The only certainty on this continent, my boy, is that no one is ever what they see.
Yeah, that was interesting, that conversation. What I would say is, do you know if you was those people that were stood there listening to that guy's story, who would you believe off that one conversation? Now, obviously, in the whole scheme of the show, yeah, the guy telling the story, I probably don't agree with him. I feel like the guy whose hands disappeared and he was burned, I feel like he's lying. And I feel like, obviously, the guy's got a connection to Yennefer. He's probably the most trustworthy one. But, like, if you was to put the context of both of them in there, then he come out on top the other guy, didn't he? You know, he made a little comment about historians should know certain things. And, you know, if he's saying I was physically there, you know, so if I said I was somewhere and I seen this and then somebody else come along and said, no, that's wrong, I'd be like, it's not though, is it? Like, you're a historian, I'm a factician, mate. I literally sat, stood, lived and breathed this moment. I'm telling you what happened. You may have heard it in whispers and stories and books. I've seen it in facts and life, in visuals. So, I don't know, I think that he come out on top on that one, but I do think he's lying. I think like he's one of those people that tries to manipulate stories and stuff to get people to be on his side so he can have the power. But again, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, because right now they're kind of like siding on maybe don't trust Yennefer, maybe because she's part elvish and stuff, and they see the elves as the bad people, don't they? And again, it's really interesting because last episode we was told that the elves needed to partner up with the humans, which they have done right now, and you know, where they currently are in that location, they're saying like they believe they're safe and stuff like that. So again, it's really interesting.
That sudden... After I'd been burnt by that soldier, I was on the ground, screaming, and he walked by me. We were all there to play a part. I remember thinking, if only one of us gets to live. So glad it's Yen. I'm not on to say his plan. I'm not dead. I have to find a new way forward.
I'm all for that, mate. I knew she'd carry on. Just with the like, that's battle scars, that, mate. You know, if I went into a war and I come back and all my back was slit up and all my body was cut and burnt and all that, I wouldn't be hiding it. I'd be like, look at this, mate. I've survived a war. Look at me. I'm a true beast. And I'm all for that. It's like people who used to be dead fat and then they lost all the weight and they have stretch marks and stuff. And people are like, you know, so some people are embarrassed, some people don't care. I'm on the side of, mate, look at you now, mate. You're sick. That, it just shows your progression and what you've done, mate. You should be embracing it. Like, yeah, look at these stretch marks. That's because look at how much I've changed and improved my life, mate. And it's just like, her there, if she's burnt and stuff, she should embrace it. She went into battle and she come out on the victory side. Yeah, okay, she looks different, but it's signs of a warrior. You look at it, look at me, stronger and better. Next time, let's not get another one. That's how I would look at it. It's like that guy who had that scar on his face there, you know, the one that turned into the tree or whatever last episode, who died. he's got that cut on his face. At first you look at it and think, oh, there's a cut. After that, you like got that as a saving his family, being a true fighter. And you just, in the end, you just don't even see it. He just becomes the norm. She got to the third one this time. Oh.
Admit it. You belong in a castle.
I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I disagree with that guy. He's saying that she belongs in a castle. Why? To me, it shows that she's not a giver-upper. Do you know what I mean? She is a fighter as well. You want people that are going to get knocked down and get back up. You're never going to keep me down. You're just going to keep going and going and going. Yeah, today, okay, cut my arm. But tomorrow, I'm going to be on the next stage. And it also reminds me of playing Crash Bandicoot as a little kid. And kind of Fall Guys now, you know, to running for all the obstacles.
How can you be sure that they won't impede our mission?
The white flame always finds a way. Are you comfortable here?
My people are used to sleeping on a forest floor, to awaken without the bite of a snake or the sting of a wasp. It's a pleasure. You were told by someone masquerading as?
I'm here to bring you here to fight against the people who have wronged us both. We are trying to feed, to house, to liberate. I want your partnership.
I want a place for our future to begin. Can you promise me that?
Oh, that's good. Pretty deep, isn't it? You can't lie to a mum's face while she's pregnant asking, can you save the life of a baby?
I wish things were different. Politics.
Requires a certain type of person.
I like how he's changed his appearance, man, over time. Like, obviously, it's showing that it's been a while.
Well, Yennefer Vengerberg, it seems mages are merciful. Fringilla told me about you. Your days as schoolmate, he envied you. Then.
Do you know what I mean? Who is through that in?
What's the hurry, my dear?
What is it with men lurking about this place?
Yo, what's
I
going
always
on?
pegged you as a pervert.
You were in the company of Nilfgaard. We have so much more to talk about.
Fuck you!
Oh, check this.
Stop!
Yo, check that. Hey, do you know what? How mad's that? Like, this guy can transport Yennefer from, like, the present into a mental cell that kind of incapacitates her while he tortures her while she's just stood there in front of him. That was mad. Now, obviously, he's trying to extract info from her head. Wonder what he's seen that. Did anything help him? You know, he seemed like he was getting there. But like I said, I wouldn't trust that guy. I said it before, and I'll say it now. I feel like he tries to manipulate the things that he's visually seen to make people get on his side and never tell the actual truth.
Training's going well, then.
She's a quick study, if impatient.
Sounds familiar.
Sorry for Eskel, and if I was ever a burden.
What?
Steady your legs and breathe, damn it! You're panting like a dying mammoth.
Yes, get in there. Oh, did she? She just failed at the end. Like, did she just have to walk down those steps? Good effort, though.
So close.
You have committed treason against one of our own.
Fire magic.
Survived imprisonment by Nilfgaard, captured by elves, and now returns to these hallowed halls unscathed?
I'm not saying she is the enemy. I don't know. But if you claim to want to defend the Brotherhood,
then you must also be willing to defend it from threats inside these walls.
Again, you got to say, yeah, the guy is not speaking facts, right? You've got somebody here who's done X, Y, Z, and then now they're back unscathed, like he's saying. Now, the way he approached it is incorrect. This conversation should have been had straight away, and they shouldn't have locked her up as like a prisoner. They should have like taken her away and say, look, mate, we're putting you in this facility. We need to do a bit more digging. We need to check. You know, like, it's one of those things when, I don't know, if a prisoner gets kidnapped, say, by the opposition and disappear for like 5 years, then he'd just reappear. Nah, I'm not having that. They come back to the country and then they're all welcomed with open arms and just pushed into society. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen Homeland, but the same situation happens with Broder. Because he was an American soldier, he got captured, he got turned, he become a terrorist himself, and pretty much when he come back to society, I can't remember now if they watched him properly, but I don't think they did, and it had consequences. And that's the thing, like, he's not saying Yennefer's bad. He's just saying you can't come in and just say, Yennefer, way, back on our merry way. It needs to be what's going on here. What information does she know? How's she not come back scratched? If she's been captured, does she know anything on them? Can we utilise any of her knowledge and information? What's this magic that she's done? Has she been impacted? No one's asked any of these questions out there, so I'm not sticking up for him at all. Like I've said a few times, I feel like he's the one that's trying to manipulate it onto his side. But he does raise few, like, common sense questions that people should be asking.
To prove your innocence, you will have to kill the Nilfgaardian prisoner.
Is this Vilgefortz talking or you?
The hero kills the enemy.
And yet another reason for Stregobor to vilify me!
And tell them the truth. You are not a threat because you have lost your magic.
Triss's scarred, Sabrina's bruised, we're all in pain.
Yes, we are.
I've searched the continent, trying every herb, every potion, every spell. Tell me how to save myself! I cannot. I don't believe you!
But what is lost is lost. From the moment we met, you have been trying to fill a void. Power couldn't do it, even when you had it at your fingertips.
I wonder if reuniting with these two will bring power back to her.
You can do anything. Doesn't mean you have to.
Oh, that's a good answer.
You said we catch fear, that you have to face it, we mustn't just give up. I want to be a great fighter, and not just against sacks of straw.
I've known many who wanted to be great fighters in my time. Do you know where they are now? In cemeteries.
It's slow and steady wins a race, mate. You don't become good overnight. And just because you completed that task or something, it doesn't mean that you're a Witcher. You know, I could have a lucky day and do it. I mean, I definitely wouldn't. But it wouldn't mean that I'm a true warrior. Practice makes perfect.
Fleeing.
Why do you care?
Because I care about you. I spent time amongst Nilfgaard's followers. Heard how they feel protected under the Emperor, how they feel welcomed.
If only you were asked to prove your loyalty by beheading a man.
If you slip out in the night, you will be caught. But you would never want to go quietly.
You deserve. Come to me.
It's good, mate. That is good.
You keep looking down. Your enemies aren't on the ground. Again.
That strange feeling that you get like someone's coming after you. Can you describe it to me? What's the first word that comes into your mind?
A pull.
If you were to follow that feeling, where would it take you?
Imagine if Yennefer and Ys reunite in the woods.
I saw your mother exhibit uncontrolled magical power. She destroyed an entire throne room.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want to scare you if I was wrong.
You said you'd never let anything happen to me, and I trust you.
It's about time.
There's the drag. Look at that. Done it. Absolutely devastated it.
Less than perfect means death.
Sir Laszlo will be proud.
Some perfect needs death, mate. It does, man. You gotta train. So I told you, man. Practice makes perfect. I would have said though, see, this is why I need a sword myself, because I could have took him out easier, but you didn't give me anything. You know, I would have played it.
Can you at least tell me what purpose my death serves now?
Absolution. Mine.
We thank the Northern Kingdoms for their generous contribution honoring our fallen.
In Sodden, we banded together. Fight not only for the future of magic, but for the future of the continent.
Look there, Visimir. Sorceress that saved Sodden.
My advisor Dijkstra says she's worth keeping an eye on.
They all are these days. Our most trusted advisors are becoming less and less trustworthy.
That's interesting, that. Imagine all them people were there to watch you get killed. It's mad.
This Nilfgaardian will be put to death. This is what strength looks like.
I don't think she's going to do it, me. I think the guy's quite decent, the one that's knelt down. What absolute pressure in front of everybody.
Simply say the words.
I'm surprised the guy don't even move. Like, he's not even holding his head down. Look at him. As if no one's chasing after her and getting her now, like...
Why save me? Don't flatter yourself. I'm saving me.
It's obvious, man. Like, I knew that she wasn't going to go through with it. Now, did she reclaim her powers? I don't know. We didn't hear it. She was just saying, say the word, and you can regain it. But we didn't actually hear anything. But I knew that she won't kill this guy anyway. He's a pretty decent actor, to be fair. He does look like a good fighter, a good warrior. I feel like, again, if you combine all their stories, they can, I don't know, they can become a good, solid unit. Like, but it's actually interesting because none of them looked kind of shocked in there, and they made a massive spectacle out of it as well, and not one of them chased him when he was fleeing there. Not one of them tried to get Yennefer, and not one of them tried to get the prisoner back. And the prisoner's head wasn't even locked in, was it? He could have stood up and ran at any point. Obviously, it's pointless in running because his arms are not free, but that's no surprise to me that she chopped that chain. I could see that coming from a mile away. But seriously, man, she's getting stronger. She's fighting. She's learning. You know, she's come to the conclusion at the end, pretty much, that practice does make perfect. So whether you can jump straight in the deep end and complete the task or not, yeah. If you don't know your skills thoroughly and completely, and you can be confident in always showing those actions, then yeah, you're possibly always at a disadvantage. You know, the Gerald's come in and saved her. I mean, if she did have a bit of a weapon, she might have been able to attack the monster as well, because all she had was her legs. Now I'm surprised she didn't use a bit of magic. I don't know whether she's feeling confident enough to actually like ping it away the way like Gerald does and stuff. But again, the more we see, the more she's improving slowly. Last episode, she only just got the knife. This episode, you know, she's been training. She's nearly passed that test. She got to the very end and fell. So again, her progression is going to be really good to watch, because on episode 3, there's 5 more. You know, there could be big character progression in those episodes, especially when they're 1 hour long. It could be 5 hours, you know, that we could potentially see her get stronger and fighting. And it's good that she can see to the future and have visions as well. I do like that. You know, it could be an asset to the team when you move forward. And that is going to wrap up episode 3. So, like we've seen there, Yennette, she's escaped. Now, it's interesting to know whether she's getting her powers back or not. There's a potential avenue for her definitely to get her powers back. We can see her obviously struggling with the fact that she doesn't have a magic right now. And, you know, she feels different. She feels like she doesn't really belong in that place. Also, yeah, a guy did come over and try infiltrating her brain. You know, he did kind of like put her in a mental cell while he kind of extracted it and tortured her a little bit. It was interesting to see. They classed it as treason. He countered it by saying, mate, we don't even know who she is. Just because she was on our side of the war, yeah? She used fire magic. And then she's also been imprisoned by the Nilfgaard. And she's been with the elves. And she's come back unscratched, unscathed. And she's just here. And we're supposed to just, what, embrace her with open arms? I don't think so, mate. We need to do some digging. Now, in that context there, it's facts. It really, really is. You know, if a person's being captured by the enemy and then they come back without no literal damages, scratches, cuts, broken legs, nothing, you're going to be asking questions. And I'm surprised nobody else did. Now, obviously, they might have all been excited that she'd returned, which is great to see. But questions does need to be raised as well. And we do need to find more information. Now, I don't like that guy that obviously was kind of put on a little bit of trial. I do think that he's a liar. And I feel like he wants power himself. Obviously, there's a plan right now in place to dethrone him and the other guy from obviously the high seats or whatever you want to call them. And I don't know whether they're good or not. You know, the woman who's been trying to scream in for Yennefer for the first 3 episodes, again, she seems to does really care for her. But then again, I don't know if people just use people or whether they all have their own selfish you know, agendas, so they kind of like use people to get to a better ranking. You know, she would have a high seat and all this stuff if all the plans go well, and that's why they wanted to keep Yennefer hush and keep her hidden away, so to speak, when she returned. But again, like I said at the very end, it's no surprise to me that she freed that prisoner. Now, the prisoner is pretty interesting, to be honest. He holds quite a lot of information. She was trying to extract quite a bit of it in the first episode, and you know, she was saying, don't flatter yourself, mate. I didn't save you specifically because I care about you. I saved my own ass. And luckily for you, you was in the right place at the right time. Like, get on this horse and let's bounce. Now, like, I think that's really interesting. And I really do like how Cersei as well is getting better, like I said in the little bit of the outro there, with her fighting, and she's improving. I do think that we need to utilise a bit more of her magic, and I would like a bit more monsters in the show fighting, because I enjoy the fight scenes. They're like my favourite styles, whether it's humans versus humans, monsters, I don't care. It could be witches and witches, monsters and monsters, anything. Just give me battles. The more fighting, the more entertained I am, the more excited I am for future stories. Now, because she can see to the future, I think it could be a big, massive asset to the team, and it can help. It can help Geralt and the Witchers. I also think it'd be really interesting if she does see into the future and she maybe sees Yennefer and tells Geralt that. Then it'd be really exciting to see how he reacts, because he thinks she's dead, doesn't she? He said in the episode that his mate, who looked like a beast, he said that she's been gone for a few days, and he said he was dealing with heartbreak, but he's not showing it because you all deal with it differently. Now, if he finds out that she's alive, will he want to go and like try and run after her, or will he just wait to see if destiny brings people together? Like he's saying, series currently is destiny, and it brought them together. So again, that would be really interesting. Now, he did ask her about the visions. He did find like her family crest or whatever, and a robe that she's been hiding in the walls or whatnot. So I would like to see obviously that play out a bit and ask a few questions, you know, like what she's going on there. Is she missing home? What's the plan and stuff? She nearly did pass that test. She got to the very end and failed, but that just shows that, you know, there still is more progression for her to do. You know, you don't become the best straight away. The more and more you practice, the better you get, the stronger and the more confident that you will be when you do go into battle. But I like how obviously she got knocked down and then she got back up and she kept going. And, you know, even when she cut herself, she didn't think, come on, we'll wait until tomorrow. She was like, let's do it again. Let's run it. Let's keep going. Because like I said, practice makes perfect. If you quit after the first try, you never get anywhere. She would have fell at the first hurdle. She wouldn't have made it to the end and fallen. So you could see a progression there. So again, her character's really interesting. I can't wait to see how she evolves her relationship as well with Geralt, and obviously the more monsters coming in, if she can help obviously defeat any of them. And I would like her to do, you know, like use a sword and a couple of bit of magic as well, all in one scenario. And maybe both of them could team up and do a bit of magic and ping a few people across the rooms while they're in a big battle. But that is going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will catch you in episode 4 of season 2 of The Witcher. Cheers, guys.